Friday and Saturday qualifying winner Charles Leclerc had launched his Ferrari cleanly to comfortably hold off front-row rival Verstappen into turn 1 at the Sunday race start. However, the Ferrari driver was exposed when DRS was activated at the start of lap 3 of 51, with the chasing defending champion closing the 0.4 second gap before using the overtaking aid to pass over the line. At the start of lap 6, a compliant Leclerc was disposed to his eventual third place by Victor Perez, who used DRS to overtake on the inside run to turn 1. As Perez and Verstappen pushed each other for the win, Leclerc finished 21.2 seconds behind the lead pair, edging ahead of 4th place Fernando Alonso by just 0.8 seconds. The margin led Leclerc to declare that Red Bull is in a different league than Ferrari in terms of race pace, as the Monegasque had also ceded the land to Perez in the Saturday sprint race. Leclerc stated, "Red Bull are in another league once it comes to the race. Over 51 laps, it was just not possible. They have so much more pace than we do in race pace. I think they found something that we didn't yet. That's where our focus is at the moment. Everyone's working flat out to try and understand what we can do in races, especially to just get more performance." However, Leclerc found solace in Ferrari setup changes in Australia, which unlocked more speed and carried over to the competitive performance in Azerbaijan. When asked if he thought the gap with Red Bull was closing, he said, "Honestly, the feeling is a little bit better, but when I see the gap, and I'm pretty sure that when you have this type of gap, you're probably not pushing 100. We don't really know how much we have closed the gap. The feeling is a little bit better, but again, also the Aston Martin was really quick today. So we still have a lot of work." The Italian team is aware that its current weakness against Red Bull is in managing tires over the course of a race, with little separating the two teams in single lap qualifying. However, it was Leclerc's late surge in the race in which he was able to deliver the same pace as the runaway Red Bulls in the closing stages as he defended against Fernando Alonso that raised some eyebrows. Even Max Verstappen noticed this when he questioned Leclerc after the race in the pre-podium driver room. Leclerc even set the fastest lap of the race up until that point, demonstrating that his tires still had plenty of life in them. Although late speed has led to speculation that Ferrari may be better off on its rubber than previously thought, team boss Fred Vasseur believes the picture in Baku was muddled by tire management tactics. He believes that while Leclerc carefully managed tires earlier after the safety car stop, Red Bull duo Sergio Perez and Max Verstappen pushed their rubber past his best by running flat out. "If you look at the last stint of the race, I am not sure that Red Bull was not planning to do 2 stops as they were pushing like hell from the beginning to end," said Vasseur. "But when we were convinced at the beginning that we do 1 stint and we managed a lot in the beginning, it meant we really had a tire advantage at the end. Overall, they were faster than us and we don't have to bullshit ourselves." Leclerc, meanwhile, admitted he took it easy after the safety car stops to better look after his tires after paying the price for pushing too hard on the sprint as he tried to catch eventual winner Sergio Perez. "We have to look after the tires after our car, otherwise we kill them and then we cannot get them back," he explained. "This we can change, but yeah, we just don't have enough performance for now." The fact that the Ferrari is so quick over a single lap but struggles to keep up with the Red Bull in races suggests that the SF23's issues are more mechanical than aerodynamic. Asked by media if the weekend had confirmed Ferrari's biggest issues were mechanical, Vasseur said, "To understand if it is coming from a mechanical or aero is another story. I think what is so far obvious is that we are struggling with consistency. And it is a bit true this weekend, but all over the lap and all over the corners and all over the race, the car was much more consistent this weekend and we are going in the right direction." While Leclerc earned Ferrari's first podium of the season, teammate Carlos Sainz finished 5th on the streets of Baku. The Spaniard had struggled for pace throughout the weekend, admitting that he was uneasy with the car after failing to nail down his setup during the sole practice session on Friday before park firm conditions took effect. Having started off on the wrong foot, Sainz was in for a difficult weekend, finishing 5th in the sprint race before repeating the result in the Grand Prix after being caught out by an opportunistic move from Fernando Alonso early on. However, Vasseur put a positive spin on Sainz's difficult outing on Sunday, saying he did well considering his struggles with the setup. It was a tough weekend for him, but in the end, he was ahead of Mercedes, Vasseur told the media. This must be emphasized. He brought home some good points and finished with a P5. There are ups and downs in sport. In Melbourne, He did better than Charles, and here he suffered more, but I think he did a good job in the end. Sainz, meanwhile, had a much less positive spin on the situation, revealing that he was on the verge of crashing as he wrestled the car in a mentally stressful race. The first stint on the medium tire, I looked like I found a bit of pace back, Sainz told the media, and then as soon as I put the hard tire on, my struggles of the weekend appeared again and I just had to bring home a P5. I was very on the limit of crashing or feeling like I was losing the car, so it was a pretty long race and mentally stressful after the struggle of the weekend. But I brought home the P5. I'm sure we will find out why this happened this weekend, and I'm sure in Miami we'll be back. When asked if he knew why the weekend, which included the first ever sprint shootout session prior to the sprint, had been so difficult, Sainz said there hadn't been time to investigate. "No, because we haven't time to sit down and analyze," he explained. "We've had to very quickly go into the next session to fine-tune the car with the front wing and the switches to put it in a bit of a better place. But we haven't had the time to dig deep into the data to see what could have happened this weekend. I'm sure that, together with my engineers, we'll find out and we will be back on form in Miami. It's just that it's obviously a shame to have such a frustrating long weekend here in Baku." The races ahead will reveal whether the Baku performances are evidence of genuine Ferrari improvement, previously untapped potential being realized, or simply the result of Leclerc's genius across the Baku streets. It would be even more difficult to determine whether team principal Fred Vasseur's optimistic outlook in the face of another high-profile exit from the Ferrari pit wall is justified. Sporting director Mikis is the latest senior figure at Ferrari to leave the team in recent months, though the date of his departure to become team boss at AlphaTauri is still unknown, with Ferrari expected to negotiate release terms. Team principal Mattia Binotto resigned late last year, citing a lack of support. And head of Aero David Sanchez follows suit, taking gardening leave in preparation for a move to McLaren. Among the post-Binotto upheaval were the apparent departures of long-serving management figures Gino Razzato and Jonathan Jacobazzi. However, in Baku, Binotto's replacement Vasseur was quick to point out that the loss of a few figures within the structure could only have a limited impact given the overall size of Ferrari's F1 ranks. He initially described Sanchez and Mikis' departures as no drama in the grand scheme of things, and he repeated that point several times. It will be interesting to see how much of an impact these exits have now that Ferrari has begun to turn things around. So what are your thoughts? Can the Scuderia make a comeback and compete for victories this season? Is Red Bull truly unbeatable in 2023? What about Carlos Sainz's disaster of a race? Is it going to struggle against Leclerc? Please let us know in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to be notified when new videos are uploaded. And if you want to learn more about Formula 1, watch this video right now. Enjoy.